Fire!
Let's draw.
Hey everyone, welcome to Dude Let's Draw. Today we'll be learning the basics of Photoshop. Let's start. Photoshop is a wonderful program, but before we start, I want to let you all know that this is a paid program from Adobe. You can also download a free trial of Adobe, and as you can see here, it gives you the price by month and other options here. Remove backgrounds, resize, crop, everything you need to know is on the Adobe website right here. Alright, getting started. Basically, you download Photoshop, set it up, and to create a new file, there are two ways to do it. You can press New File here with this blue button, and a window will appear with options, or you can go to File. When you do File New, it'll show the same options box. Let's keep it simple. Click New File. Now, there are tons of options here. These are options from my history, but you have saved options. I didn't save any. There's photos. If you have standard photos and landscapes that you'd like to edit, they're already preset. You have stuff for print, and when you click them, it should give you the parameters on the right as such. Illustration, web, and a whole bunch. It's up to you to pick the right ones for you. I like to do the recent. And let's stick with the standard TV size, which is 1920 by 1080. And on the right here, preset details, you can change the name of the file. So for this one, I'm going to do test Fox, right? And the width is 1920 and the height is 1080. We can change the pixels here to inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, picas. And the resolution, we want it at 300 dpi. We don't need it at 72 dpi. That would be a lower resolution and it'll look crusty when you save it. And you can change the color mode by selecting RGB, CMYK, lab color, grayscale, bitmap, or anything that you want. You can also change the background color. It doesn't have to be white. And don't pay attention to anything else if you are a beginner, if you just want to draw. All we want to do is click Create. All right, before you get started, observe your surroundings. To your left, you have the toolbar. I'm going to just point at it right here. To your right, you're going to have your layers. And just so you know, if your interface does not look like mine, go to Window at the top, Workspace, Essentials, or Reset Essentials. I'm on Essentials just to keep it simple and easy breezy. As you go through the program, on the left-hand side on your toolbar, as you hover over an object or a tool, a little tutorial will appear. This one is the rectangular marquee tool, and it shows you a video on how to make a selection. And this one is the polygonal lasso tool. This one is the wand, so on and so forth. But for this tutorial, we only want to pay attention to brush, eraser, and colors. This one doesn't have a tutorial so much as a description. If you ever lose your way, just make sure to hover over it. Don't click on it, just hover over the image and it will give you the directions that you need. You can even slowly drag your mouse, click Learn More, and another window will appear showing you how to use the tool correctly. All right, let's talk about layers in Photoshop. Layers are crucial when you're coloring. To start, never draw on the background layer. That's a no-no. Never, ever, ever draw on the background layer. Ignore it for now. Let's create a new layer. And to create a new layer, it is the square plus on the right-hand side. It's really tiny. It's a square and a plus. That means it's a new layer. You can rename the layer by double-clicking on the name layer and call it Draw. Press Enter or click away and start drawing on it. All right, let's move on to the brush tool so we can actually draw. Now, the brush tool looks like a brush. You could also, let's just say I press something else on the toolbar. You forget. And if you press B, it will activate the brush tool. So B equals brush. You know you have the brush tool selected because at the left-hand side in your toolbar, it's a darker gray. Now, as you start to draw, you notice that there's only one brush size. Well, you can change that on your keyboard with the bracket. This bracket tool is small, and this bracket is big. Just be careful. If you make it too big, it could slow down your computer. But if I hold it down, it'll make it small. And if I hold this down, it'll make it big. Open bracket is small. Closed bracket is big. It'll make it so much easier. You can also change the brush type at the top here. If you click this circle with a number, you could press the little triangle next to it. It looks like a carrot. I don't know what they call it. Like a triangle looking thing. And you have folders filled with brushes. We have general brushes. Close that. Open this. We have dry medium brushes. We have media brushes. The sky's the limit. And you can install your own brushes. Also, at the top here, you could change the opacity of the brush. You could change the flow, which increases the stabilization and smoothing. So flow and smoothing will allow you to stabilize your brush to how you want it. All right, other important things that you really need to know in Photoshop is how to move around. So if you press spacebar, a little tiny hand will appear, and you can move all the way around your canvas. Also, if you want to zoom in, press Control plus on the PC or Command plus on a Mac. If you want to zoom out, press Control minus. So you can go all the way out, and then if you press Control plus, you can go all the way in. And let's just say, oh no, I don't know what to do. You can use the scroll feature down here to go back. Let's just say I zoom out to infinity. Oh my gosh. I have to press Control plus a million times. You don't. Just press Control 0 and you're back to normal. Easy peasy, so easy. All right, let's talk about erasing and undoing things. So on the left here, you have your eraser tool. If I click that, I could just get rid of all of this stuff that I showed you before. Let's just get rid of all of it. And let me press this big bracket and erase it. Cool. I'm going to press B for brush again. And let's just draw a sample and show you guys that not only can you erase things, but you could switch between B equals brush and E equals erase. Okay, suppose I draw something really quick and oh no, I made a mistake. I can't use my eraser tool really to get full accuracy. I'd have to tediously get through. But by pressing Command Z or on Mac and Control Z on your keyboard, I can easily get rid of it. So let's do that again. I'm going to add some more, and then I'm going to add some X mark to it. Okay, I'm going to press Control Z several times. I'm going to hold my pinky on Control and press Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now it's back to normal. Changing colors is fairly straightforward. First, you can change colors right here on the right. So I'm going to select the red. And I'm going to lower, let's just going to do this here. I'm going to press B for brush. And I'm going to just draw, what if I wanted to draw a little nose, right? And there are two squares here. The top square is the color that you will be using, and the bottom square is just a backup. If you hover over it again, it'll give you the description of it, but we want to pay attention to the top color. And then let's just say I want to select a blue or a green or a red. And there's also a little tiny circle in the color palette here, and you can move it all around and select the right color. Also, this tab that's pretty much red, green, yellow, blue, whatever. You can move the triangle up and down so you could select the right color that works for you. So I'm going to select 2 blues here, and I'm going to select the white so I can get a little nose. How cute. All right, now we're going to talk about the selection tool. I added Fox from Smash Brothers in here, and I wanted to show you guys how to select different parts of a picture and move them around. It could be really fun. So the selection tool here, there's 2. There's the marquee selection tool, which will only select squares. So if you hover over this, it will make a square selection. So if I were to select Fox, and then you have to select the move tool, you click that, I would only have a square piece. I'm going to press Command Z. And to deselect this marquee tool, press Command D. Using the selection tool can be great because let's just say if I want to get rid of this background now, and I could select it, press delete, and it's gone. Now, suppose I want to get rid of all of the background. A little more accurately, you would select the polygonal lasso tool. If you hover over the polygonal lasso tool, it makes the selections by connecting straight lines. So what I usually do is I click and move, click and move, click and move, click and move tediously until I get a nice selection of something that I want. And let's just say I only want that section cut out up to his ears, right? All right, we got this selected. We know it's selected because there are little ants running across, and I don't want that anymore, so I'm going to press delete. To get rid of those ant-like lines, press Control D or Command D if you're on the Mac. Now, if you still don't understand the polygonal lasso tool, you need to start and stop at the same spot. So let's just say I start by the tip of the ear. I got to end by the tip of the ear. So I'm going to go around in a circle, and it will give you a tiny little zero, a tiny little circle that will confirm that, yes, we started and we stopped. So if I click that again, now we have the ants running around. I'm going to click delete, and bam, Fox is looking a lot foxier without that extra blue around him. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit more, just to show this example. And bam, we could see even more of his head. If you want to get fancy with it, you could select Fox's mouth, open it up, get the move tool, and start moving it around. Hello, everyone, I'm Fox. All right, let's spice it up a bit. Let's together all draw Fox, all right? We're going to use a combination of different colors, sketching, and different brushes. So to start, press B for brush. We're going to select, in the general, we're going to use hard round pressure size. That's what we're going to use there. And if it doesn't go away, click away. And I'm going to select a blue right here. And I'm going to give it a quick test. Sometimes you want to get a nice feel for a brush size. So I'm tapping lightly and holding it down with my pen so I can test the pressure sensitivity. All right, so let's start drawing. All right, we're only going to draw the head of Fox. So to get started, we need to draw a circle. Get a beautiful circle in there. Actually, it's too big. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit twice by pressing Control Z. I'm going to zoom in twice by pressing Control plus. I'm going to lower my brush size, and I'm going to just draw a circle. Cool. I'm going to put a line down the middle, and I'm going to put a cross through it. Awesome. And now I'm going to put some ears in. Fox's ears are obviously triangular, but when you do it, give it a little line that curves and make it go up just a little bit, okay? Get a little line that goes and curves and goes up. Cool. Awesome. Now we're going to put his muzzle in. His muzzle is kind of round, but it goes out. It kind of reaches to the other side of the circle that we created. And then we're going to add the tufts on the outside. We're going to add his nose, which is kind of like a circle, but it's not. Looks like a shield. That's the best way I could put it. Use the guideline again to get the mouth going. Make a little bit of an ooh-woo face. Now, here's where we get it. The eyes. His eyes point in on either side. And then you make pretty much a cup. You pretty much add another curve leading to the muzzle. And then put his eyebrows, which are pretty much like diamonds. So you're going to add a curve here and bring it in. And then you add a curve there and bring it in. Starting to look more like Fox, huh? Put some eyes. Put the pupils in. So you got the outside and you got to go to the inside. Neat. And then we're going to fix his head because his head's not so much round as it is kind of square on the outside. So we'll add a line down and connect it to the fur. Okay. He also has equipment. So for his equipment for his ears, we're going to add a polygon and curve it down and almost attempt to make a square, but bring it in. And then he's got his little communicator on the side, depending on what you're looking at, or which version you have. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll add a little mouthpiece to it. It looks sketchy and messy, but trust me, trust the process. Then we're going to add these same two up here, but to his mohawk. So use this line as a guideline to add a little diamond. There we go. And then we're going to add that square at the top, like we did to the sides. So this goes here, here, and here on every angle. Okay. Oh no, I didn't mean to undo that far. Neat. Let's add the inside of his ear tufts. So add just another triangle and another triangle there. Beautiful. We sketched Fox. On to the next part, refining. All right, let's clean it up a little bit. We're going to make a new layer. And we'll name this one Ink. Just for me to know that I want the lines to be black. So I'm going to select the black. But before we draw over it, if I draw over it, I could make a mistake. Like, for instance, it's just too much. I'm getting confused by the lines. So touch the draw layer. There's an opacity feature on the right-hand side here. It's really tiny. I'm going to zoom in on that. And then lower the opacity to about 45%. 50 to 45%. Click your ink layer and make sure your layers are selected. And now we can color him in or outline him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start outlining him to start, add a little bit more features as I go, but without adding, extra lines. I just want to make it as nice and clean as possible. I'm going to speed up this part just a little bit, and I will get right back to you, folks. So do the best that you can while you follow along. All right, and we're done. And we're going to turn off the sketch lines. And I'm going to click the layer that says draw, click the eyeball, and bam, he's all nice and clean. If you feel that the lines aren't to your liking, go back in, zoom in just a little bit, pick up some of the lines here, make them nice and crisp and closed, erase some that don't work out for you. But we'll continue to draw in just a second. And the next step is to color. All right, the last step, and then we have our picture complete, is to color. So the rule here is lines on the top, colors at the bottom. So my ink layer is going to be on the top. I'm going to create a new layer below it called color. And you can move these layers up and down as you see fit on the right-hand side here, because sometimes, let me tell you, it gets confusing. And click on your color layer and go to the top, select the right color for Fox, and obviously he's a fox. He's going to be like an orangey. I'll try to select the right color here, and let's try this one. Give it a test. Make this bigger. And the best part is I'm going to color him one solid color and it's not messing up my lines. If I were to draw on the ink layer, it's ruined. So try to avoid that. So let's go back and finish coloring him in. And for those of you who want to know the exact color, if I click on the square here, right here at the bottom, it'll give you a hex code. And I'm using E5B65E just for the sake of this tutorial. So color them in to the best of your ability. I'm going to speed it up and I will get right back to you. If you want to get the exact same color that you were using previously, click on your colors, and then you will get an eyedropper and select, bam, the color that you want, and it'll remain, okay? This way you're not guessing what colors that you are using throughout the whole thing. You can also press and hold down Alt to select the eyedropper tool for more effective coloring. And when you keep practicing, it'll become second nature. All right, there you have it. Now you have Fox colored in. I'm going to add a little white for a little highlight here. That looks creepy. Let me just add a better one. There we go. That's better. And if you want to add shadows and highlights, I highly recommend you add another layer above your color layer just so you could test it out. And you can always apply a gray. Let's just say if I wanted a gray here and a gray under the mouth or in here, right? I'm just going to do it really sloppy and quick. All I'd have to do is lower the opacity by a lot, and then the shadows are there. Pretty nifty, huh? All right. I hope this helps. Thank you for joining me on this lovely drawing journey, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And man, enjoy Photoshop if you have it. Have a great day. Bye.